Donald Trump has never had much patience for criticism, but lately it's not just his tweets or rallies, it's his regulatory hammer being raised over networks that don't give him love. He floated this idea recently. Broadcast networks that cover him negatively should maybe lose their FCC licenses. Yes, he said, maybe their license should be taken away. Because in his world, free speech apparently stops at criticism. He claims the networks are 97% negative toward him. All bad press, no wholesome stories. He said they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. It will be up to Brendan Carr. That's the FCC chairman he appointed. The same Brendan Carr who's been leaning hard into the public interest standard, warning broadcasters about content, and over the last few days pushing ABC to suspend Jimmy Kimmel over something Kimmel said about Charlie Kirk's assassin. Let's get this straight. The First Amendment and FCC rules don't allow revoking a license simply because broadcasters are critical of the president. That's textbook censorship. There's no clause in the Communications Act that says, except when it annoys the guy in office. If this idea got taken up, it would face court after court all the way up to the Supreme Court. Legal experts have already said it's almost certainly unconstitutional. But Trump is not asking hypothetically. He's applying pressure. He praises Kimmel's suspension. He urges other networks to cancel hosts who mock him. He lauds Carr as a patriot. He frames criticism not as part of his public life but as an offense. On the other side, you've got people pushing back. FCC Commissioner Ana Gomez called it weaponizing its licensing authority. She warns that the threat alone is enough to chill speech, because you don't need to take away the license to silence someone. Just suggest you'll revoke it, and networks start self-censoring. Editors get cold feet. Talk show hosts get warnings behind doors. Opinions get toned down. Criticism is adjusted. Look at what just happened. Jimmy Kimmel's show is taken off the air, an indefinite suspension, after his monologue calling out the MAGA crowd for politicizing Kirk's death. ABC pulls it. Nexstar's affiliates comply. Trump cheers. Carr says networks need to act, or else. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, Carr said. And that hard way is always the one that looks like coercion. The worry is that public interest becomes just a slogan, a cudgel, a way to demand loyalty instead of transparency. Under FCC rules, broadcast license holders must serve the public interest. But what is public interest? It's vague, ambiguous, easy to weaponize. If public interest means don't insult the president or don't project him in a bad light, we're spiraling toward authoritarianism. Let's be clear, networks are owned by corporations. They have boards, share prices, advertisers. They'll run toward safety. If regulators hint that negative coverage could risk their licenses or big mergers, those networks will pull punches. They'll cancel shows. They'll warn writers. They'll hush hosts. That's not a free press. That's a press with desired outcomes. This is dangerous and it's escalating. It's not just rhetoric anymore. There are tangible actions, shows suspended, complaints filed, threats made, and crucially pressure being placed on regulatory bodies to act. Whether or not the law allows it, the message is loud. Criticism can cost you. And the politics of this matter. Supporters say Trump's press is unfair, slanted. If networks want government licenses, maybe they should treat officials more kindly. Critics say when you give a politician the power to punish criticism, you shrink dissent before you quash it. You turn watchdogs into lapdogs. Because in democracies, the essential tension is that leaders are accountable. Criticism is a necessary mirror. When that mirror is broken, distorted, or wielded as a weapon, things go dark. Authoritarian creep doesn't always arrive with jackboots. Sometimes it comes in subtle threats about licenses, tax audits, smear campaigns. So where are we? Trump says networks are 97% negative. He'd like their licenses revoked. FCC Chair Carr says he supports action or investigations. Conservatives cheer. Democrats and free speech advocates warn of constitutional violations. Media companies are caught between microphone and regulator. Hosts wonder if the jokes will cost them more than ratings. This doesn't just affect late-night comedy. It affects all journalism. Reporting, commentary, dissent, anything the person in power doesn't like becomes vulnerable. It's not just ideological, it's structural. Once the threat exists, once the precedent is set, it's easier next time, and next time may not look so funny. We're at a crossroads. Either free speech means exactly that, someone gets to say things you don't like, or free speech becomes what those in power allow. If revoking licenses becomes normal for negative coverage, then only approval remains. Then disagreement becomes risky. Then truth becomes optional. Not left, not right, just real. We must insist that criticism is not a crime, that comedy isn't treason, that public interest doesn't mean public deference, and that the First Amendment is more than words on paper. It's the backbone that keeps speech alive. If we lose that, it won't be loud censorship that kills us. It will be the quiet surrender of voices we give up ourselves, because sometimes silence feels safer than storm.